empathy. Have any of you heard of it? Have any of you acted on it? Who here can define empathy off of the top of their heads? Anyone? Now let me ask you something else. Who here has seen a friend cry and had absolutely no idea what to do about it? Who here has typed out, "Are you okay?" and then stared at the screen wondering, what if they actually say no? For most of my life, when someone I cared about was hurting, I froze. I'd say things like, "Are you good?" or "It's okay, cry it all out." But when I'd say these things, I panicked because I could feel all their sadness, and I had absolutely no idea what to do about it. Sometimes we don't help, not because we don't care, but because we care so much that we don't know where to begin. We are exposed to more human suffering in a single day than our ancestors were in an entire lifetime. Sad news notifications, hearing about wars, disasters, violence, every single day. Because here's the truth that no one tells us. According to Nature Human Behaviors, constant exposure to suffering actually reduces our ability to respond meaningfully over time. A concept known as empathy fatigue. So, if you've ever felt numb, or like you've just scrolled past someone's pain because you didn't know what to say, that does not make you a bad person. That makes you human. The issue isn't that we don't care. It's that we don't know what to do with what we feel. My name is Yara David, and today I'm officially 16 years old. For most of my life, I've always been a person who feels deeply, and I've expressed this through my art, which is why I created the short animation you just saw. At first, I had titled this animation, "Feelings That Go Unnoticed," but then I changed it to "Inviso-Girl." But I think the title that is the most fitting is this, "Empathy Without Direction." Now, audience, this may sound a bit lame, but let me explain. The girl in the video was not invisible. People saw her, they just didn't know how to reach her. And for one, I can understand this feeling. There was a time in my life where I chose to sit in the corner because I felt unheard. Yes, I was acknowledged, but there's a difference between being acknowledged and being heard. So I still felt excluded. Until one friend. She didn't have the perfect words. She didn't have the perfect advice. But she made space for me. She directed me from the corner of the room to the center. And that is empathy with direction. So, how can we use empathy within our lives? Let me ask you something. Have you ever been given advice so often you just stop hearing it? Like, get plenty of sleep, or just be yourself, or drink more water, or this one. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. We hear it from teachers, parents, posters. It's the golden rule for empathy. So, I brought one of my own. This shoe is, whose shoe is this? Kobe, Shaq's, a Giant, LeBron? Well, the truth is, I don't know. But more importantly, how am I supposed to walk in this? Okay, I'm being a bit dramatic, but this is what empathy can feel like sometimes. We are told that empathy means walking in someone else's shoes. But what happens if their shoes are too big? Or maybe they're wearing high heels, and trust me, I can barely walk in sneakers. Perhaps they're wearing shoes that have walked on dirt roads I've never even heard of? What happens if their life experiences are so different from mine that when I try to wear their shoes, I just fall over? Well, that's what empathy, we've been told, says. But what happens if we stopped saying, put yourself in someone's shoes, and we started asking how they learned to walk in them? So, I came up with something simple. I call this the empathy equation. It's not calculus, I promise, but it's this. Curiosity minus assumptions plus questions equals empathy. Not mind racing, not emotional overload, but this. Curiosity says, I genuinely want to understand your life experience. You're not being the judge of it, you're not trying to fix their issue, but you're there to understand. Step 2, minus assumptions. Not to judge, but to catch yourself at those moments where your brain says, I already know what they feel. I already know what they're thinking. Because, trust me, most of the time we don't. Then step 3, add questions. This is about opening a door instead of building a wall. Questions slow things down, they make the other person feel seen, and questions turn empathy from a feeling into an action. So, how does this play out? Now, audience, this side of the audience is a stressed out customer, and this side of the audience is waitresses, or yeah. Now, picture this. You're at a restaurant, your food is taking forever to get ready. You're hungry, your stomach is growling so loudly that the table next to you can hear it. And then your brain starts making up stories. It says, the waitress is ignoring me on purpose. This is the worst service ever. So you get frustrated and you walk out of the restaurant. Okay, let's replay on this. Instead of getting frustrated and walking out of the restaurant, you use the equation. You become curious. Curiosity sounds like, I don't know what, she seems stressed out today. I hope she's okay. You minus your assumption that she's ignoring you on purpose, which I'm sure she's not. And then you add in question. Instead of sighing when she comes by, you say, busy night tonight, right? She might sigh and say, yeah, 2 cooks called in sick today. Now, your hunger may not disappear, but at least your frustration dissipates. And now you understand. That is empathy with direction. But where is this most important? It's with the people sitting right next to us. If your friend texts you, I'm fine, but clearly they're not. When someone sitting next to you is quieter than usual, instead of just ignoring them because you might say to yourself, what do I say? What if I make things worse? What if I say something wrong? You use the equation. Curiosity sounds like, she seems to be having a tough day today. I wonder what's weighing on her shoulders. You minus your assumption that she's ignoring you on purpose, or she's just tired. And then you add in a question. Where she's sitting next to you, you say, hey, something seems to be weighing on your shoulders. I hope you're okay. Notice something. It doesn't require the perfect words or the perfect advice, because most of the time people aren't looking for the perfect words or the perfect advice, but they're looking for something else. For me, that was, can you sit with me in this? And that is empathy. Empathy, real empathy says, I don't know what it's like to walk in your shoes, but I care enough to know what it's like and how it feels to wear them. So, maybe the equation was never wrong. Maybe it was just incomplete. Perhaps instead of saying, Put yourself in someone else's shoes. We say, how did you learn to walk in them? That is empathy. Empathy that heals, empathy with direction, and empathy people remember. So now, I would like to leave you with the equation. Empathy equals curiosity minus assumptions plus questions. The result, understanding. Thank you.